And we are live.
We are. What happened to the countdown? We're supposed to have like from 30 seconds down to 0.
5, 4.
There's a good producer.
There you go.
This show is off the rails already. Chip and Co fans, good evening. Welcome to Disney News and Review here on Chip and Co. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching with us. I know a lot of people are just tuning in right now, so we want to say thank you to them. We want to say thank you to you. We took a week off due to illnesses going around and some ear infections, sore throats. We just had to take that week to get everybody back into better spirits. Yeah, so we were supposed to be at Magic Kingdom tonight, so I apologize. I'm at Polynesian, not Magic Kingdom. You can tell the difference here. I'm not freezing and the wind's not blowing my bouffant. Good evening, everybody. We're from here at the Polynesian. We were at a special media event over at SeaWorld for the new roller coaster called Icebreaker. Had an amazing time over there. Those guys are great. We love being there. Did you get to
ride it?
I got to ride Icebreaker, and tomorrow you will see our ride point of view. And at one point, I almost lost my phone. So, Mike, good evening. Guys, let us know where you're from. We'll make sure we say hi to everybody.
Well, you got to tell us how it was. How was the ride?
Interesting. It is very... Sophia from Trinidad, how are you? Oh, you go back and forth. It's like a miniature, and I don't want to compare these two, but it's like a miniature Velocicoaster, minus the upside down. The turns are great. The top hat is great. The going back and forth is quite interesting. I think they have a hit on their hand. I really think SeaWorld did a great job getting this coaster out and ready. I hope people go and ride it. It's a coaster park now, basically. So with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, after having to deal with a sickness in her family, of herself, and kids being sick and everything, Kaitlyn Hogenkamp, welcome back to the show. How are you tonight?
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I clearly still have the sound of being sick, so I will apologize that my voice is not its normal, cheerful, energetic self tonight, but I wanted to make sure that I was still here to share all the news we've got going on this week.
Thank you, Kaitlyn, for being here. I'm glad you're pulling through this and starting to feel better. By next week's show, you'll be 100% and you'll be on. Kaitlyn's probably only going to be here for about half an hour to do the show. We're gonna
she can the whole time. You watch.
Yeah, she'll be here the whole time. You know, guys know how this goes. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chip from Chip and Co. himself. Chip,
hey, everybody.
What's with the background? Are you over at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge? Are you on Batuu? How are you doing tonight, sir?
Well, I'm getting over COVID and bronchitis and strep throat. I'm getting better each day, but yeah, the background, playing around with the green screen. This is the new entrance for the people who take or stay at Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser.
Yeah,
you were there. You got the pictures.
That's my pictures. Hey, I mean, your pictures. You own them. I just took them for you. So that's a great place to start for the news tonight. Star Wars has brand new entrance that they've opened up that is leading between Batuu and the new Galactic Starcruiser is coming. So they just opened that up. We got a bunch of pictures. Really looks cool. And at the same time, they are hiring entertainment. And then finally, I mean, we saw the new cast members that Jeff Volley took some pictures with. A lot of news going on over at Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser. Hey, and there's signs up around Walt Disney World leading people to the hotel now and the resort. What do you guys think? Kaitlyn, what are you thinking here on Star Wars?
Well, I do think that it's really exciting that we're going to get a new opportunity to be immersed into the world of Star Wars. And one of the really nice things is that they're looking for actors who are fully committed to not just, making appearances in the parks. These are going to be like the people of the ships. They're looking for a cruise director. They're looking for a ship mechanic. There's all sorts of
like Julie. Can I be Julie, the cruise director? Only Star Wars Julie? Oh, I'm so want to be Julie.
Well, if you're looking to pilot the Halcyon, that's where I recommend going. We've got some postings actually on our site from Disney Careers and Disney Auditions. And so they're looking for some really talented folks that are ready to fully commit into the roles, and you literally get to become a part of the Star Wars universe. I think that's really cool because that means, in a way you become Star Wars canon. So that would be like the ultimate dream.
Oh my gosh. Do they accept people with blue hair? You're a cast member. Are you allowed to dye your hair yet?
I know in certain
I don't think
areas
so. I don't think
might
so.
be part of the theming, but I don't know if you can necessarily get away with it in the roles that I
would be handing in my resignation right now and be like, I'm done doing this. I'm going to work at the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser. So
work third shift, and you should be okay.
You want to be the cruise director, according to Ollie.
Yeah. I absolutely want to be Julie, the cruise director. I would never leave character. I would go home acting like I was the captain of the ship and knowing that I'm not even a co-pilot in my own house.
Michelle, I wish I could afford the Starcruiser too. The only way I'm getting in there right now is by invitation only.
Justin, thanks for joining us tonight. This Div's Life, you guys are amazing. I've got something special to say to you guys later. Man, so nice of all you guys to join us, and we're so happy that you're here. Onwards and upwards. Kaitlyn Hogenkamp is the most amazing entertainment correspondent in the world. You are one of the most knowledgeable people I know on whether it's Disney movies, Star Wars, Marvel. You have Disney Entertainment somewhere in your blood, and we appreciate you. So we're going to start with you tonight. Let's get through some of this entertainment news coming up. So what do we have? Let's start off with Peter Dinklage. He kind of got a little, I don't want to say offended, but he kind of opened up his mouth, and as well as he should, and spoke up for the dwarfism community about Disney and Snow White. What can you tell us about what's going on with Peter Dinklage?
Sure. So I'll keep the language a little more PG than he did in the podcast. But
yeah, please, family show.
Yeah, family show. But he was very irate at the idea that Disney has been pushing about how this new Snow White remake is going to really be more of a progressive story for Snow, and it's not going to rely on a lot of the tropes in the original movie. And part of his, disdain towards that was that there wasn't really any news shared about the dwarves. And so, to be completely fair and in on his side with this, when you think that someone is coming out and saying that they represent something, but then doing something that seems totally backwards, again, nicer terms that he was using, is something that was totally backwards compared to what they were saying that they were doing, it makes sense that you would feel like you need to stand up for that. And it's good that he did do that because it clearly prompted a response.
Right.
And Disney responded within a day or two of him talking about this because they don't want anyone to think that they're not thinking about it either. And obviously we are not privy to conversations that happen behind closed doors and in production, and so no one really has a way of knowing. But Disney did come out to say that the dwarves are not going to be traditionally represented as they have been in media before, but that they're going to be reformatting these characters into what are being referred to as magical creatures, according to the voice acting call sheet that was going out for casting. So clearly they have been putting some thought into this, but they have not been very vocal about it. So again, it's really hard to say because we're so early on right now.
Right. And if you are Disney, you are not going to put out something that is going to upset a giant community. You're going to kind of toe that line of being a little what people call woke nowadays. You have to be if you're going to offend one side or the other. So I would imagine, look, I don't know how much Peter Dinklage has and knows about what goes on behind the scenes at Disney, just like we don't really know. So, but if there's one person who has the right to say something, it's him. So I don't want to think that we're saying that he shouldn't have said anything, because he is, and he has, and always will be a spokesman for that community. So if he wants to say something, it's his right. And I hope that whatever he says, Disney will bring him in behind closed doors probably and talk to him about what they could do for the community, because it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And yeah, each dwarf has a sleepy. I don't want to see sleepy. I don't want to see dopey. Like, I don't want to see that in a dwarf on camera anymore. That's, to me, that's in the past.
Do we really need that kind of movie nowadays? I mean,
well, and that's exactly it. It's like it feels like you should just let it be a product of its time. And if you truly are bringing a new, fresh take on the story, there are ways to do that without making it a remake necessarily. So I don't know if it's just the terminology that's been used and it's causing a lot of, emotion and chaos when it comes to it, or if it really is going to be something that is so different that we really haven't seen before. But then why couldn't it have just been a new story is more of my personal argument as a writer. If you're going to change up everything about the story other than the integrity of it, just go with something else,
Yeah.
But
Chip?
again, it's, I'm not on that crew.
Yeah, Chip, what do you think? Are you did you read what Peter said?
Yeah,
or how Disney responded?
I support them, and I like how immediately Disney came out with the article, saying that they're not going to have any dwarfs in the movie. So I like that. But honestly, I mean, we don't need to remake everything. I mean, I'm fine with it being where it is.
I think you're absolutely on a great path with that thought. There is, you're Disney. You can come out with new IPs and new stories. You don't need to use Hans Christian Andersen or some other writers from the past that are open IPs. Snow White is so magical from the original movie and the original animated movie. I don't want to see that updated. I love Snow White. I love that image of Snow White in Disney. I don't need a new version.
Yeah, like I said, let it be a product of its time. Respect where that was, but move forward. You know?
All right.
Yeah.
That's enough controversy on that one. What else do we have going on? Let's see. We have a whole lot of new stuff is coming to Disney Plus this month. Kind of an off month, February, Kaitlyn, but you could probably fill us in better. We do have one or two really big things that are still staying out. Book of Boba Fett is going to be the finale this next 2 episodes, and then a finale. So that's February. What else do we have coming up this February?
Sure. So there's not a ton that's coming out next month, but I mean, the content that is going to be there is stuff that we've either been waiting for or has been more recently announced. So we're going to be having that Alice's Wonderland Bakery coming out with some new episodes. Both episodes of Hawkeye and the Making of the Eternals for the Assembled series are going to be joining the roster. Disney Plus original movie Sneakerella is going to be premiering at the end of the month. And in big news, we are getting Free Guy on Disney Plus. I'm so excited for that one. I cannot even begin to tell you. I got to watch that movie early, and for like 3 weeks, I wanted to just scream to the internet about all the awesome things that were coming.
That's going to turn into an Encanto moment for me, where everybody watched it.
Greg?
What, Free Guy?
Yeah.
I have not watched Free Guy yet. And as an old gamer, I was told that it's an amazing movie, so I'm really looking forward to it.
There's a fight scene in the end you're really going to like.
Make sure that you don't run to the bathroom during that part. Yeah, don't run to the bathroom during that part. It's the best part of the movie.
I'm old and diabetic. I got to run every 10 minutes anyway, but the pause button works.
In another exciting news, we're going to be getting the Proud Family reboot, a series called Louder and Prouder, and it features a wide variety of casts, a ton of guest stars, and that's going to be coming at the end of February. It initially was supposed to come out at the beginning of the month, but they pushed it back a little bit due to some.
I can't wait for the Proud Family. Like, I love the original cartoon of that. I thought that was, my kids grew up watching that. It's such a fun show. Like, I really can't wait for a reboot on that one. And I love some of these new cartoons that are coming out. Book of Boba Fett, that's the big deal. I mean, literally.
Oh, yeah. So do you want to hear my theory?
Yes, give it to me.
All right.
Give me all your Star Wars stuff. Come on.
My theory is, and I talk about this a little bit tomorrow too, in an article that I wrote about Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have a feeling we're either going to get a release date or a trailer drop shortly after the finale, either for Obi-Wan Kenobi or for Andor. Either or, I am very excited for, but I really feel like we should be looking out for that when this finale premieres. Wait till the very end. Wait till past the credits, just like we did for The Mandalorian Season 2, and I bet we're going to get a really sweet announcement.
Okay, without spoilers. Did you like yesterday's episode?
I was a little excited.
Yes, you did. We all loved it. All of us loved it. This is the best. Okay, no more spoilers.
I have a fun graphic to share. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. There you go. Chip, are you looking forward to anything, Chip, this month on Disney Plus? Is there anything that's, besides Free Guy, anything you're thinking of?
It's hockey season, so no.
It is hot. Well, at least your team's in the race. So I'm going to go watch Disney Plus, and I'm going to be sad now. Thanks, Chip.
Yeah,
I'm now sad.
I watch the Book of Boba Fett every week, and which I have to watch. Don't spoil it. I haven't watched yesterday's episode yet, but
not saying anything.
Yeah, Disney Plus is going to be. I'm really glad we're getting a lot more than we did last year in February. But I mean, it's more going to be some staples that are kind of sprinkled throughout the month. It's not, going to be like it's not the kind of month where there's something every day. But there's still going to be plenty to watch, and they're always adding new and exciting things. So I'm
excellent. Speaking of Disney Plus and upcoming stuff. We have news of Percy Jackson's going to be coming to Disney Plus.
Yes, officially.
Pete, hold on 1 second before you say anything. Pete McDevitt, I want to make sure I say hi to you. Pete's a great guy. Pete, I got a few things we're going to talk about later on at the end of this episode, but I just want to say thank you very much for stopping in and watching tonight, along with Diz Life. Guys, anybody else, Bobby, thank you guys so much for watching. It's truly we appreciate you guys being here. Anyway, Kaitlyn, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Percy Jackson.
No, you're good. Yeah, so we officially have an announcement from Disney Plus and Rick Riordan about the Percy Jackson series that I've been writing about for over a year and a half. So pretty much since Disney Plus was announced and the acquisition of Fox happened, this was a big theory from a lot of fans to start off with that this was going to be a possibility. And now, after following Rick Riordan's blog for over a year, we officially have an announcement from Disney Plus that this series is happening. It's been greenlit. I am so excited. As somebody who grew up with the books, like you don't really get a chance to see redemption happen, and my fingers are still crossed, and I'm still holding my breath a little bit. But with Rick's stamp of approval on this, that's a great sign for demigods. And
I tell you what, I remember reading Percy Jackson and Lightning Thief and then watching the movie and going, man, the books are so much better. My kids grew up with that when it was becoming really big. So I'm really looking forward to seeing whether they can take a TV show or a limited series run, whatever. I think it's going to be excellent, especially if Disney Plus is putting the money behind it. You're going to get a really good show out of this.
Exactly. And that's the thing that I think that's the thing that's the most hopeful, is that they're breaking this down into a series. They're not just trying to do something like with Artemis Fowl where they push it into a feature film. They're going to allow the story to progress and have potential to grow. And I think that's going to be what's going to be that make or break for this type of story. And I mean, there's a lot of comparisons to, it was trying too hard to be another Harry Potter, but the books really were in their own right. They were, I mean, they obviously weren't as spread out, but the thing is that the story was still just as captivating. So I'm really excited that like a whole new generation now is going to get introduced, and hopefully we will get the Percy, and the Olympians that we grew up with. So
speaking of Olympians, real quick, I want to say to Carrie out there, who's a big fan of the Chip and Company, and she's always reading this stuff, but she's from Pittsburgh, which is where Chip's from. And I always got to hear about the Penguins all the time with these two.
Yep.
Come on. Speaking of Pete McDevitt, I want to say, if you're into sports and Disney, go over and check out his YouTube page. The guy's amazing. And I've never seen somebody put those two in and be able to get fans riled up that love both things at the same time onto one channel. Anyway, I'll talk about that in a little bit. Entertainment news. Kaitlyn, thank you so much. I hope
we
you
have
feel
one more
good.
Article.
Oh, do we?
One more.
What do we have? Oh, we do have one more. We want to say congrats to Jodie Swinton from Full and Fuller, Sweden. Sweden. Full, Sweden. Okay, Fuller House actress. Just an amazing. She's been really vocal on Instagram and has a podcast, I believe. Just such a nice person. So congrats to her. Kaitlyn, you would probably be able to say anything better than I could because I don't know actresses. I will hack them. Please, it's all you.
No, it's all good. Yeah. So Jodie Sweetin announced that her and her boyfriend, Mescalowski, are engaged. We're very excited for them, especially because we know it's been very hard with the passing of Bob Saget. The whole cast and crew have really been needing something to help lift up their spirits. And nothing will ever replace Bob, but I think that this is at least a good way for them to begin the healing process together. So we're really excited for them. We can't wait to see wedding photos, someday. So all that's still under wraps. They're still obviously planning. This is very fresh and new, but we wanted just to say congratulations, and that we're very excited.
I'm going to go off script a little bit. Have we heard about rumors? Look, Bob Saget was just such a big presence with the Full House and with Fuller House. And just the more you see come out lately, how big of a presence he was in the comedy world, America's Funniest Home Videos, just everything. Are we going to see more Fuller House? Do we know that yet?
No, so Fuller House did end its with, I believe it was season 4 on Netflix. That show had already wrapped. That wasn't really kind of in the plan. And I don't know if you guys saw, it was very sweet. So the new How I Met Your Father series over on Hulu paid tribute to him, because Bob was actually the voice of older Ted, who was narrating in the original series How I Met Your Mother. So that was very sweet to see that tribute added to the new How I Met Your Father series. But yeah, unfortunately, when it comes to the Full House cast and crew, that story seems to have wrapped for now. So.
And ladies and gentlemen,
can I say that DJ was like my middle school crush, Kenneth Cameron?
Oh, I don't think you're alone in that one.
Yeah.
Yes, you can say that it was your middle school crush, because if you're like, oh, that was my crush now, then it'd be weird, and I'm out of here.
It's less weird than how most girls my age, who were probably 20 years, younger than him. John Stamos was definitely a first crush for a lot of girls my age, and he was definitely way too old.
It's not that I dislike John Stamos, but I'm not a John Stamos fan. And I really think it comes down to all the girls I knew in high school were like, we love John Stamos. Yeah, and I was like, well, but what about me? I'm Greg from Mooresville, Pennsylvania. So
no, it was the hair. It was the hair and the bare chest half the time.
Oh, see, that's what I did wrong in life. I didn't have the bare chest and the hair.
Well, that and how you pronounce this liquid that's inside of here.
Water?
What do you call that? Yeah, water.
Water?
Yeah, water. WUDDER or WOODER. Water. Just like Trenton doesn't have 2 T's.
Oh, man.
You people from Pittsburgh. And Kaitlyn, you're only in Maryland, so I wouldn't talk either. Come on, I'll make this all about Philly tonight. We will talk about, how about those Eagles? I mean, they're out of the, no, I'm kidding. I'm not a sports guy. I love watching hockey, but I will not be able to have a full-on conversation. And anyway,
I grew up in Chicago, so no, you can keep it on the East Coast.
This is why we get along, though. We can make fun of each other's teams, and it's out of hatred from my part. But Kaitlyn,
yeah, Greg loves it when I share graphics with him about the Flyers throughout the day.
Yeah, look, it's
funny
yeah.
meme.
Anyway. So anyway, Kaitlyn, thank you so much. You being able to bring up that stuff about How I Met Your Father and all that shows your knowledge of the entertainment news here at Disney. I love reading your articles. It keeps me up to date. Look, I'm not the best at entertainment news. I never will be. All those names, but you are amazing at it. Kaitlyn, if people want to get to you outside of Chip & Co. or anything, do you have an Instagram? I know you have some amazing art that you're doing and different things.
Yeah, I need to update my Instagram a little bit. It's been a hot minute with COVID.
In a while.
I know. Well, with COVID, it's just I haven't been able to go anywhere. I'm so sad. I had to cancel my trip because that's why I'm even here tonight. I wasn't supposed to even be on tonight. I was supposed to be in Walt Disney World. So I'm very upset.
You were supposed to be down here, and you had to cancel everything because of this.
I'm wearing my Mickey sweater not just for work, but also just because I'm kind of in that Disney depression of I had to cancel my trip, like a lot of people have had to do. I'm more bummed because unfortunately I'm missing a wedding for a very, very, very dear friend of mine who was in my own wedding. So like it's like a double whammy. It's like
I can relate. I had to cancel my cruise, so.
Right, and Chip, you've actually is the 3rd cruise you've had to cancel this year.
Yeah, so I keep putting them forward and having to cancel.
Yeah. I had to cancel dinner reservations because I overbooked myself. Oh, wow. So instead I went to Artist Point and saw Snow White.
Yeah, you reminded me that I had to cancel my reservations I had Spring Canyon reservations. So if you were wanting West Spring Canyon on Sunday, go check now.
Yeah, really. Kaitlyn, I can't say enough about how much we admire you and how much I love your writing there and everything else you're doing. So if you want to stick around, please stick around. If your voice is bothering you, you may take off however you want to do this. So
yeah,
I
think
appreciate
I'm gonna
you.
I'm feeling a little bit of a coughing fit coming on, so I'll spare you guys with the headphones.
Kaitlyn, we will
Okay.
see you next week. Back to full health. We're wishing for you to. We're gonna all get together and send you positive vibes. So thank you so much, Kaitlyn.
Thanks,
Kaitlyn
everybody.
Hogan
Good
Camp,
night.
everybody.
Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, Kaitlyn. Chip, you and I, let's discuss some park news. We got a lot of stuff to go over.
Yeah.
If you can hear me there. Okay, so
I can hear you.
let's segue over to Disney Parks because we got a little bit of news going on there. Not a lot. I mean, it's nothing crazy. We did get a few drops today, but one of the big things is Guardians of the Galaxy. The Nova Core ship is being installed at the front of the new Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster over at Epcot. Have you gotten to see the new pictures yet of that?
Yes, the ones that you sent me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to change my background right now. I'm looking for a good one here. Where are those? How about this?
I don't know. Let's see.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's going to be there. It's thinking. There you go. See, that's a good background, man.
There you go. Nova Core.
Nova Core ship. So what do you think? Like, I know you and I have discussed this before of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's nice to see that the installation's going through. Everything looks great, but both of us kind of agree. Where should it be?
I honestly don't think it belongs in Epcot. It should go over to Hollywood Studios. It makes more sense there. I mean, it doesn't really, I don't know, it just doesn't play in the whole Epcot theme. Epcot's like countries and things like that. And then I can understand it being near Mars, you know, Mission to Mars and Test Track. And I mean, that's the only place, if you were to put it in Epcot, would be right there. But
I'm with you.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, but here's my thought is you could have done the overlay on Tower of Terror to Guardians of the Galaxy along with having the roller coaster right next to it. I think that would have made, you could have had a whole Guardians of the Galaxy land in Hollywood Studios and it would have become huge. To divide that up, I don't know. And I also understand people have a problem with changing Tower of Terror down here in Walt Disney World. But the people in Disneyland love themselves that Guardians Tower. So.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of fun. That's probably one of my favorite rides at Disney.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm good.
Oh.
I need to be in control, at least on a roller coaster. Like
well,
I know where the tracks are going.
The music really helps that ride out there.
Really?
And how they, you know, and I've ridden it probably about 20 times, and I know they have like 11 different rides that you can do. So 11 different soundtracks that go along with the ride itself. And
that's great. One
really
of these days, you and I have to deep dive these rides because I can't wait even to ride that. We're going to go out to Disneyland, I think, this September. All right, so onwards and upwards. Big news of the week was this is crazy, and
the weirdest news of the week.
It was also one of the most clicked on articles we have over the chipandco.com. All the doors are open at World of Disney again. Happened sometime last week. Disney.
You were there for it.
I was there for it. So at World of Disney, you could only go in and out separate doors. You had to go in the entrance at the front or in the entrance at the back. And then you had to leave either under Stitch or out the two side doors. So you had to enter in one door, exit out of another door, and they were very adamant, the cast members, that you couldn't exit through the entrance. And they said something, and then out of nowhere, everything was just open this week. So they opened up all the doors for people to come and go, which, here's my question, and I don't like to question Disney on stuff. They probably have reasons why they do things, but why would you have separate entrances and exits unless you were going to separate people in the store? So as soon as you walk in the store, you're mingling with people and
people
going.
Too.
Yeah, so I don't understand why that happened unless it was just hey, this is to make you think that you're better or whatever. I don't want to question how Disney does something, but
I like the flow. It's just like when you go to a grocery store, you go in one door and you go out the other door. So I don't know why they couldn't have kept it.
Right, and I think it also, I mean, you could also you could keep better control of shoplifting or anything that's going on or people going in and out. You could definitely then have security watch those. Michelle, Michelle says, sounds like normalcy is creeping back in. And yes, that's exactly what it is. It just seems like things are going back to normal, how they should be, how Disney wants them to be. They've been a little slow on some stuff, opening stuff back up. We're not going to say either way our thoughts on it. We just follow what Disney does, and they, as a corporation, can do whatever they want to do. But as Chip and Co., we have to report these things to you. So that was a huge article. What do you equate that to?
I think it had a lot to do with the comments on Facebook. People wanted to argue with one another, and usually when that happens, that makes our articles go over viral.
Speaking of yelling at people, man, you just did the best segue. That's why you're the producer. Like that was awesome. Another big article this week. The next 2 or 3 articles we're going to talk about are not the happiest, but I want to get them out there just so people can see what is going on down here. We're not judging anybody. We're just saying this is what happens, and then we can give our own spin on things. So one of the major things that happened this week was a lady just kind of lost her cool at a cast member about a stroller. And the cast member happened to move the lady's stroller, which happens everywhere.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's kind of their job. She had it like right in the middle of the Fantasyland area there.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I've said this before. We love the cast members down here. If it wasn't for the cast members, we wouldn't have the joy and the happiness and the order that we have. People would just be doing whatever they do. Sometimes the cast members are looked down upon, like they're lesser, or like they can change the rules, and they change it for whoever's in front of them. They don't change the rules. They don't do anything. They follow what corporation tells them to do, or what corporate tells them to do. They are just following their own rules.
He just stood there and took it too. Like I would have lost my cool.
I would have too. Yeah. So props to that cast member for getting through that. We love cast members. I cannot say enough nice things about them. I'm down at this park every single day, except for maybe a Saturday here or not. And I see what they go through. I see them being berated. I see them being yelled at. I see them being thrown under the bus. But then every once in a while, on the opposite, you see them praised and somebody giving them a small little gift as a thank you. Michelle, I think that's the best way to put it, is why can't adults behave? Which unfortunately leads us to this. This is now the 3rd week in a row that we're going to talk about another fight that happened at Walt Disney World. And this is getting
right on Main Street.
This is getting out of control. Like, this has got to stop. I think more people need to stand up and say, stop. This one, and look, we write about these things and we bring this news to people. We don't sensationalize this. This person who put this video up added the happily ever after talking to it.
Yeah, and I was watching the comments the day of, and everybody's like, this is an old video because it has happily ever after. But I watched the video and I saw the new strollers, and I commented on the Facebook page saying, hey, that's the new strollers here at Disney World, so it's not an old video. And I actually had to go into the article and adjust that and tell people, hey, it's a new video and then teach people how to use TikTok.
Again, a little kindness goes so long. We're all tired when we're leaving and the fireworks are over and it's nighttime. We've all had a long, hard day. It's okay to take a breath. There's no reason to fight anybody at Disney World. Like, I don't understand.
They were just beating them on the ground.
Yeah, and then kids
were around.
Yeah. So please stop. If not, I'm going to have to keep naming these things, and I don't want to name any more of these.
What do you have for the name for this one?
Okay, the carnage at the castle. The pounding at the partner statue.
No, it was further down.
The hullabaloo in the hub. No.
We need something with Main Street in it.
I was going to say the Main Street Melee or Melee on Main, but that just feels like it's
That's
done.
actually a good one. I like that one.
See, it's the ones I am like, I'm just going to throw this away. It always works. I don't know.
Yep.
Anyway, I have to make a joke about it, because if not, I would just get angry at the situation, because I think people I think people are just jerks, and I do think it comes down to a lot of people. Over the past 2 years, we've been stuck inside of our houses. We've not had to interact with others and think of others' feelings or their personal space. So I just think a step back and just a breath would probably help.
Didn't
So
you
please.
see something when you were in line for the Figment popcorn buckets?
Figment, but yeah. Oh, we had a gentleman try and skip in front of us. We'd only waited an hour and a half, and it wasn't that big of, but a guy tried to sneak in, and the people around him were like, "No, this group's been together for 2 hours." Well, and so that started a scuffle, and thank God security was right there. They had been watching the same guy trying to get through. So let me see. Carrie Joe, former usher at Console Energy Center. Dealing with general public was the worst part of the job. Yeah, it's entitlement. I don't know. I don't want to say it's entitlement. I want to follow a fine line on that because it's a tough one to say. And look, sometimes some people are right and they just get into fights with other people who think they're wrong. So I think everybody just needs to take a step back and breathe and realize
I like her idea. Put them in timeout.
Adult timeout. That would be awesome at Disney. Not call it jail, timeout. That's
I think they are going
idea.
to the big timeout jail for fighting at the park. But
could you just imagine? They're like, I'm going to go see Mickey Mouse, and you're literally dragged out of there in handcuffs by the Orange County sheriffs.
Yeah, they're everywhere. So if you think
everywhere, there is undercover people. I've seen them like rush out at people, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I didn't know that guy was. And so if you're down here in Disney World, you are in a very safe environment because there is a lot of undercover security, people who were looking out for shoplifters. You're in a very secure environment. I feel safe 100% down here right now.
Yeah, there's cameras everywhere. They're probably watching you right now.
Yeah, they are. So that's enough of the negativity. I'm so over that right now. Like I don't need to see any more of that. I live in the happiest place on the earth, in the world for a reason. Like I walk down Main Street and I still get adult tears walking down and seeing the castle. And I want to just spread that love and joy and happiness to everybody. So that's just me. Onwards and upwards, Chip. Akershus has Akershus. See, I always mess it. You can watch any live feed I've ever done and I will hack that name. The signs have been all taken down. It is no longer the Florida Blue Lounge. It is no longer a lounge for the Florida Blue team. And it is now, all the signs have been taken down. It is no longer a lounge. It's now sitting with a guard or a cast member in front of it, kind of guarding the door. What's going on here?
I think the dining's returning. Princess Storybook Dining, which is really good. I like that dining.
Now that's with the princesses, correct? That's with Elsa and Anna. Who else was part of that?
Oh, I haven't been there in a while. When I went, it was like Belle, Little Mermaid.
Yep.
Those characters.
I remember watching a video of that going, I wish I could take my wife there. Yeah. So, I mean, I would think that is what's happening. That's what's going to open up soon. We do have the Turf Club is reopening. Gico over at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge is reopening. That's the progression. That's one of the last few that needs to be reopened. So I really hope we see that soon.
Well, the thing about Akershus is they have this Norwegian like yellow cheese that is really good. It's like a breakfast cheese. And I haven't been able to find it I think I found it one time outside of the parks. I was in like a fancy Wegmans or something like that, and they had it. But they have this yellow breakfast cheese there. It is really good.
So for those who don't know, Wegmans would be a Kroger or a better Publix that has like a bar inside and really nice hot food, and they have the hot bars and the salad bars, and so it's like a step above Publix and a little bit above Kroger.
Do they have Wegmans in Philly?
They had Wegmans in Philly. Yes, we actually had one down the street from us in Collegeville.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah. Wegmans was the bomb in Phantom.
Friday night at Wegmans, you can go get you Italian hot sub and.
Did you say hot sub?
Yeah.
It's a hoagie. Anyway, no hoagie. 100% hoagie. All right, let's stick with Epcot. We heard from Josh Gad this week, and Josh Gad has been in and around Epcot a lot recently. Came out and kind of went to Disney and said some stuff out loud about wanting a Columbia pavilion here at Epcot in the World Showcase. What do you think about that? Would you want a Columbia pavilion into Epcot?
It doesn't really make any sense, to be honest. I don't think we need to have every movie that's out there, like, in the parks per se. Like, we don't need to have a Columbia. I would think Brazil would make more sense.
I think you're absolutely right on. I think Brazil would be the world to go to. I see a lot of people wanting Australia, but to me, with how the tourist industry works and how many people come from Brazil versus how many people come from Colombia, I think you would have more. I think you'd have a better pavilion doing Brazil for all the people who come from that country. Brazil is such an amazing country, and I'm not disparaging Colombia. Colombia, the culture is just amazing, but could that sustain a whole land? It is a smaller country, and yes, Morocco is also a smaller country, but yeah, I think Brazil. I think you have to put South America in there at some point. I think that's what's missing.
Yeah, I mean, what Colombia is that in Central or South America?
It's
South?
Just in the South, yeah.
Okay, so it's just
north,
above Brazil.
North, yeah, it's North South America.
So maybe if they did a South American pavilion, kind of like like Ecuador and all them together, and
yeah, but if you talk to certain like there's different languages. You have the Portuguese versus the Spanish speaking. So I mean, it's a whole different like each country is its own thing, I think. So I mean, you could probably do like a Chile and Venezuela maybe together. I don't know. That's a tough one to call.
I think Encanto makes more sense, or a Colombian pavilion makes more sense than Guardians of the Galaxy does in Epcot.
I agree with you 100% on that. Look, I think Encanto has gotten so big and done such an amazing job with Encanto, and the music is so good, and it's #1 on the Billboard charts. And I think a lot of people are emotionally attached to Colombia right now because of Encanto. But you put out something in the same vein that's from Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, something like that, I think you'd have the same call for having a Brazil. Or if something came from Australia, you would want something like that. Lauren is here right now. Lauren, thank you so much for watching this tonight. Chip and I appreciate it. So does Kaitlyn. So, all right, moving on. Genie Plus is adding the characters onto your Genie Plus schedule if you would like.
Yeah, they've already added it.
So they've already added it. So now you can schedule. So basically you could pay, what is it, $15 a day, and you can now put one of your slots can be to meet and greet a character. I'm gonna throw it to you because I have a few things to say on that one. So what do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's hard to say. I mean, I can see the point.
Right. How PC can we be here? Because I'm not happy about that.
I mean, it seems like a money grab, honestly. But I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Disney Genie Lightning Lane. You know, I guess I'm just old school. I prefer, fast passes and.
Yep.
I actually love the tickets. I have like stacks of fast pass tickets I've never used that I just collected over the years since I've been going to Disney pretty much.
It'd be a great walk back up to Space Mountain and be like, here's my fast pass. They're just going to look at you like you're crazy because, oh, jeebs. Look, I love meeting the characters. That's part of what I love about being at Disney. I am also very... I don't agree with Genie Plus. I don't agree with Lightning Lane. I think if you need a certain ride, that's fine, whatever. I don't think wasting money to meet a character should happen at Walt Disney World. You should not have to pay, and that's what it feels like you're paying to meet Mickey Mouse. I don't want to pay to meet Mickey Mouse. I'm at Walt Disney World. I've already paid you my money for resorts. I've already paid you my money to get into the park. I've already spent more money than I needed to. I should not have to pay $15 to meet Mickey Mouse 5 minutes before somebody else. I do not. Hey, Dad Builds, great to see you tonight. I'm lucky. I'm not lucky. That's the wrong word to use. Wrong terminology. I use the DAS pass, so I don't need to do Genie Plus. I don't need to do Lightning Lane. I'm actually going to talk about and do something on the Disney Assistant Pass soon, so people could understand it. I could schedule meeting Mickey Mouse. Like, I shouldn't have to schedule meeting Mickey Mouse. No one should have to do that. So I'm a little offended that they would add that, and basically people are now paying whatever amount of money to go meet a character. Just makes no sense to me.
Well, I see in the comments when we post these kind of articles from people, you know, where they're not happy. They're not happy of Disney Genie or Lightning Lane, and they're like, "What's next? Are we going to have to Lightning Lane the bathroom?" You know, and
right.
I see those comments all the time. Believe it or not, you know, we do read the comments. We may not always comment back to you, but we try to keep an eye on those things.
Yeah.
At least for a few hours after the article gets released.
And look, when we write the articles, we do not put a spin on it. We don't put our personal opinions on it. This is why we have this show, is so we can then voice our opinion about the article.
Yeah.
But on a better note, we have the return of Joy and Vanellope and Donald over at Epcot, and Olaf at Hollywood Studios. Are you a character meet and greeter?
I'll wait a certain amount of time, but you know, like, I love the Joy Winnie the Pooh thing out in Epcot. Like, I love seeing the characters out and about and waving at them and things like that. But if what was that one that just opened? Was it the Mickey or was it the Minnie in Hollywood Studios?
Minnie just opened at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, and there was a wait.
Or reopened.
Yeah, and there was like it was the last time I was there when it opened, and there was like a 45-minute wait. And I'm like, what am I doing waiting 45 minutes to see the character? So yeah. I mean, I'll wait 15 minutes, but I prefer to see him in the parks. I love the cavalcades. I think the cavalcades are a great idea.
I do too. I love the cavalcades, and we'll talk about that in 1 second. Look, I think Joy and Vanellope and when Wreck-It Ralph and Baymax and stuff over at Epcot, I think it's done. So there is no word Justin yet on Ralph, by the way. I think that setup they have at Epcot is absolutely amazing. Like, you can walk off Figment, boom, you can then all of a sudden see your favorite character right in front of you. Seeing them walk around the parks, it should be done more. I love seeing Pooh and Joy, like you said, every once in a while. Piglet over in Epcot. I like knowing that I can walk in and talk to Mickey Mouse at Town Square. I got to see Olaf the other day when he came back his first day, and it was so much fun. He took time to say hello, so I got a good 2 or 3 minutes with him to say hi and just joke around, and I'm talking to a giant snowman. And I'm having the time of my life, and I was by myself, and I just realized, like, this is what I love about Disney, is I'm able to see these characters out and about, and I don't have to wait 30, 45 minutes. I love these character interactions. I don't know, the cavalcades are great. Them sitting on Main Street on the train station, I think that's fabulous. Like, seeing all the characters in their 50th come down the cavalcade, and then 20 minutes later, they're on Main Street. Give me more, man. Just give me more. I love seeing the characters. I want them all back. I want them all out all the time, 24/7. I want to see Peter Pan. I want to see Geppetto. I want Finding Nemo. I want Nemo running around with Dory. Like, just give me anything.
Well, did you see the news that we released today about the Disney Adventure Friends Cavalcade?
Okay, so I happened to be at D23, which I'm wearing the shirt today. The Friends Cavalcade is coming, which is absolutely amazing. I can't wait. This is going to be a good cavalcade. I can't wait to see from Zootopia, Nick and Judy. I knew Mulan's going to be there. King Louie's going to be there. I wonder, we did an article this week on the character from Mulan. They're trying to hire an actor down here at Walt Disney World. I wonder if that's going to be part of it. Maybe. I can't wait for that.
That makes sense.
What about the stage show today?
There was a ton of news today.
New stage, the new stage show they announced a while ago, but
but we have
Fantasy Fair. Yeah, that one's what, March 9th?
Yep.
So a lot of good things are coming to Walt Disney World, and a lot of stuff is opening back up. So that's pretty much our news this week, Chip. So I want to say a big thank you to a few people and announce a few things. I want to say thank you so much to Mark, Dwayne, Kirk, and Alicia at This Diz Life. They have officially started using Chip & Co. as their official news source on their podcast and also on their YouTube channel. And you can see it's This Diz Life podcast, This Diz Life. Those guys are amazing, and I can't wait to hear more from them. Mark Valentine happens to be one of the most knowledgeable Star Wars guy I've ever met. So This Is Life, guys. Please go check that out. They are great guys. If you can, check out a show, and I guarantee you're going to want to subscribe. So I want to say thank you again, Mark, Dwayne, Kirk, Walrus Carp, Alicia. You guys are amazing over there, what you're doing. I also want to announce Chris with Dad Builds, who was just watching and made a comment. And Pete McDevitt at the Pete McDevitt Show are now going to be using Chip & Co. as their news source also. Pete McDevitt is just one of those names in the Disney YouTube vlogging, just basically in the community itself, who has done an amazing job with his shows. He's, like I said earlier, he's one of the very few people who is able to do Disney and do sports. So if you love either one, it's almost the home for you. So we're not asking you to just go and subscribe. I want you guys to go watch a show or two, go say hi to them. You're going to start hearing a lot of, anytime they talk about the news, it'll be from the Chip & Co. site. So we thank you guys. We appreciate, we're glad to be part of this community. Chip?
I mean, many hands make light work. I mean, if we all work together and support one another, I mean, that's how it should be. We're all Disney people. We're all nerds.
At the end of the day, I'm literally on YouTube right now talking about Disney. Like, I have the best life in the world. I go to the parks, I take pictures, I send them to you, articles get written. So I love what I'm doing right now, and I appreciate you, Chip. Where they can get you at chipandco.com. You are chipandco.com. We can get you at
Well, I'm the Chip of Chip & Company. You guys
one of these and Company.
Yep.
I always wanted to be like, hey, who are you? I'm and Company. See, it works. They can get you on Chip & Company on Facebook. They can get you on Chip & Company on the YouTube, which is what we're trying to work on and bring the numbers to.
Instagram, Pinterest, we're everywhere.
You can get him everywhere. You can get Kaitlyn Hogenkamp. You can get me at Chip & Company. I write a few articles every day.
You go to events and
I do the media stuff that you can't do because you're busy up in that part of your world.
North Carolina, yeah. And you got a new channel, don't you?
I do. It's the Disney Fanatics. We just started a brand new channel. We are over 100 subscribers as of the other day. I want to thank all my friends, Florida Park Explorers, Pete McDevitt, obviously, because he's got his show going on. This Is Life. All these guys helped us get over 100 so we can lock in the name. And it's just this fun. We go live when we can. We hang out when we can. It's just something for us to do outside of doing Chip & Co. We are so happy to be part of working with you, Chip, and we're so happy to be doing this. The Disney Fanatics, FUNATICS, the Disney Fanatics. Please check us out on YouTube.
Can I ask you something? What is the Florida Park Network?
The Florida.
When you're live, I hear you talk about them all the time.
FPE. So Florida Park Explorers are a live streaming family down here in Florida. And Dave and Jen and Bella are amazing people. They're just so nice that you can't do anything but mention their name. Well, they have a network of shows with Gene Fitzmagic. They have a network. It's Florida Park Network. And they treat it like a real news or a real like 6 ABC or 7 NBC, whatever. It's a network of shows that happen every single night of the week. And that's what they do. So it's a great, they're good people, and I really support them, and they've been very supportive of all of us here in Chip & Company and on my personal page on the Disney Fanatics. So there's that.
I just wanted to ask. I never did.
Yeah, check it out, man. I know you are a very, very busy person writing these articles. So You got to get out. Somebody just, I'm distracted for a second. Somebody just walked through with like, they looked like the balloon seller at Disney. They had so many balloons in their hand, they were literally taking off. I was like, what just happened? So anyway, Chip, we're going to be here on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. On the normal. We're a little early tonight because a lot of stuff going on. Hopefully, you, my friend,
actually,
will.
The reason why we're early is because the Penguins are on right now.
I quit. I got nothing. You just got to get that one in there. You just got to get that in there. Yeah. So normally 7 p.m. On Chip and Co. on YouTube. We do simulcast on Facebook. I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching the show tonight. We will see you again next week. So thank you all so much. Chip,
are you going to try to get over the Magic Kingdom to get Disney Enchantment? I'm
going to try to. If I can get off right now, I might be able to make it over because I'm at the monorail. So if not, it'll be from the Polynesian. We'll see.
Well, you always get that good spot at the Polynesian. So
I'm here. I may go get the Polynesian. You know what? If you guys want, I will sign off of here, and in 10 minutes, I will be back on live on Facebook, and we will do Enchantment, whether it's from here or from the parks. It doesn't matter, but it's probably going to be from here. So we'll try this one. Chip, thank you so much. Have an amazing. I hope you feel better. I hope these infections clear up, and you are back to 100%. Until then, have a great night. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good night.